lie. All you
Coach, it is a perfect night here in the capital city of Atlanta, Georgia. We've got the roof open, and we are...
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Coach, it is a perfect night here in the capital city of Atlanta, Georgia. We've got the roof open, and we are ready to go at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Ready, 5-8. Hey, kill. Under. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Let's break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Brees. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 81 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Got it. 58, boys. Got it. Bring it. Hey, exit. 58, right over there.
Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run. It's Gurley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now it's Ginn. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Opposite.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray! Touchdown, New Orleans! Latavius Murray, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a 1st down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the 1st down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
They're going to need some therapy.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a 1st down.
Now a draw play for Gurley. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking to throw on second down. Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's third down. Now, keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
That's good for the Falcons. First down. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Ready. 280. Check. 59. I got 58.
Back to the ground game here. Gurley. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Got it. 280. 58 for Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 280, son. 58. 58 for Mike. It's been a long day for you. 280, son.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons called on Matt Bryant. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
First down, New Orleans.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 2nd and 12, Breeze gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. After one, a 14-3 ball game. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Kamara trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a...
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. From the 29, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
On your team. Go. 10. Check. Hot route. Hot.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 24 yards.
And the Falcons, 1st down.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll get the 1st-rounder, Caleb McGarry, there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Ryan. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Switch. Alert 3.
Now it's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Again, Ryan. He's going to wind up in air, and that's caught inside the 35. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On second and a long way to go. Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Hey, South. Hey, 58's the mic. Go 58's the mic. Here I come. 58's the mic. 58. 58's the mic. Hey, get the weight. Get the weight one.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
At the 13-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Breeze to throw. And that is intercepted by last year's NFL leader, DeMonte Casey. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Get off the field, defense.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. This time Ryan will throw. Steps, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. A gain of 6 there on first.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers, and the last 2 years in Oakland. Now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
This will be caught by Brown. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down, Saints.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. Yep. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Ready, tackle.
Play action. Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Got it. 25. 58 to Mike. Hey, here we go.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half.
Ready. You ready? 58 to Mike. 6 man. 51. Stop. 58 to Mike. 58. 58 to Mike.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be, 38 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Fielded about a yard deep. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on third down, Ryan, and that will be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. To throw, it's Breeze. Got him in, it's Brown. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans.
And the Saints, first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Call it a loss of 6 on the play, and it'll be a second and long.
Ready, yellow lady, yellow lady. Watch the curl, watch the curl. Check the backer, check the backer. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And Thomas has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
First down, New Orleans.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
It's a gain of 17.
And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. Well, how about what they really said? Competitive.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Here's Ryan. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On first down, it's Gurley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go.
From the gun, Ryan. He completes it to Jones. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 32-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. On the toss, it's Gurley. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Got it. No. Tight dog. Hey, Haywood.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, the number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Kamara trying to right side. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun now for Breeze. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. On the return, it's James. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Let's go, D.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just one fourth-quarter comeback for the QB. Another try after the first down sack. Ryan, it's complete to Laquan Treadwell. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need two of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Let's go right here now. And 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full.
On third down, Ryan. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
22. 56. Hey, Alpha. Right there. 56. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And no, it's incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. And an alley to run. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
95-56. Kill.
Running with Kamara. He's to the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
20.
They go play action with Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. The busy night continues for Kamara. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Kamara. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now Gurley. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
I'm scared.
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's not something that we see every game now. Todd Gurley held below 50 yards, and we are in the 4th quarter. Got to give a lot of credit. They've done a nice job of bottling him up.
They absolutely have. And a lot of times he can still find holes, but there haven't been the holes there. The offensive line hasn't created much space. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
51, Sam!
Saints 31, Falcons 10.